Spider cat,
Right.
eating all the spider plants.
Please stop. Please stop.
Stand by please, electric sound, wardrobe, wig, stage management, stage crew, flyers and all technical departments.
Welcome to Leave the Ghost Light On.
Hello and welcome to Leave the Ghost Light On. My name is Jill, and with me again, as always, is Danica.
Hello.
Hello. I can't believe we're already 5 episodes in.
Oh my god. So what's new with you or in the world?
I don't know. I mean, it's just been kind of a nice little normal week. So, not gonna lie, we also recorded not too long ago.
Not that
But
long.
not that long ago. At this point, though, I guess the Tonys would have
They
happened.
happened.
They already happened.
Did
So-
you watch them while they were on? Like,
No.
Yeah, me either.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like a little bit of a bad theater kid because I'd never watched the Tonys.
Like I do, and I have. This
Yeah.
time it was the closing night of my show, and my family's in town, so we had
Mhm.
dinner together. So I don't feel that bad.
Yeah, like I feel like usually what I'll do is I'll go back through and I'll watch like the performances and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So, or honestly, the the one Tonys that I would have watched is the Moulin Rouge ones where they won everything. But I was
Yeah.
also like they deserved it, but they also kind of got like they didn't get gypped or anything, but because it was the Tonys after the pandemic and everything,
Yeah.
it's kind of like they were the only people who could win a
Yeah.
little bit. So it was like that. Yeah, that would have been the one that I would have watched. And again, like I think that they deserved every award that they got, but yeah. But otherwise, like I rewatched, last year when they did the Sweeney Todd thing and and I watched when they did the Hadestown one and all that kind of stuff. So I always like the performances, and of course you can't talk about that without talking about Neil Patrick Harris and his freaking Tony presentation. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
that one was so good.
He is just an absolute superstar.
Mhm. Yeah, that one was super good. So, which brings me into what did you think about Cabaret's performance?
So I'm actually a very big fan.
Okay.
So I really like. I mean, Eddie Redmayne. I was surprised that I hadn't really heard anything about his performance particularly before then.
Mhm. Yeah, me neither. I just knew that he was in it. So
yeah, and there are supposedly there are people talking shit and like, oh well,
Yeah.
he didn't do it like Alan Cumming. I'm like, yeah, and Alan Cumming didn't do it like Joel Grey. Like that's
Yeah.
why we put different actors in these roles, is to see the different interpretation of it. That is the whole fucking point.
I literally got a text from my cousin yesterday being like, "Hey," because he's kind of a theater guy a little bit, or at least like he knows that I'm a theater person. But he texted me and he was like, "Hey, do you know about the controversy that's going on with Cabaret and Eddie?" And I was like, "No, but let me go watch it real quick." And I was like, I mean, it's definitely like quirky.
Yeah.
Like he's very like
Yeah, he's creepy. It should be off-putting.
That's what I thought though, is that it's like, it should be a little bit weird, but it's like his singing was fine. The actual recording was fine. If anything, the person who was the woman was a little bit more awkward, like, than he was.
I didn't
So
even pay attention to that.
there was just a part where she was, like, interacting with somebody in the audience, and it was not working. But anyway, like, I don't know. And so
Yeah.
But yeah, it seemed fine. I mean, how about this? It made me want to go see Cabaret.
Yeah, and I've actually got one of my coworkers used to work with a guy who I guess I would have worked with him. I don't know how to say that. I've never worked with him, but he worked at NC State before I did.
He was a coworker once removed.
I like that. Yeah, great. He actually was one of the architects for the new Cabaret space. because they
Mhm.
completely gutted it and redesigned it so it could be that space. So I thought
Mhm.
that was pretty cool, but
Nice.
yeah.
Very cool.
And naturally, they won best scenic design. I'm like, I mean,
Oh,
okay.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like these Tonys, like, most of the time, I guess with the Tonys, a lot of the times when I watch, like, I didn't know who Hadestown was when I watched the
Mm,
Tonys and all that kinda stuff, and, like, this time, like, I was scrolling through and it's like, I don't know anybody. Like, I
mhm.
have my friend Drew, the absolutely lovely Drew, hello, who
Right.
worked on The Notebook and Gatsby and stuff like that, so it's like, I know about those ones, and then obviously because of Harry Potter, sorry, Daniel Radcliffe, you're still Harry Potter in my head, um, like, I know about Merrily We Roll Along, so
Mhm.
but that's kind of it. So, like, I didn't
Yeah,
even
I
know
mean,
that they were doing The
I had
Outsiders.
heard good things about Outsiders.
Mhm,
I am surprised by some of these nominations, but I feel like I'm always surprised by some of them.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and some of them that, like, I had not heard a thing about that won, like the Hell's Kitchen woman.
Yeah, that's Alicia
Um,
Keys.
yeah, mhm.
Yeah,
Best book went to Suffs. That's supposed to be really cool.
yeah. I mean, I don't know a lot of straight plays, but I will say I did see that Appropriate won a couple of things, and it made me look
Yeah.
up
Oh, yeah.
Appropriate, and I
Mhm.
realized that me saying, "I'm guessing it's about things that aren't appropriate," was, like, slightly true, but
Yeah.
also not.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I was on a very, very simple-ish right track.
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
And,
but
like,
yeah.
I still haven't heard anything about Stereophonic, which is the one that won,
Yeah, that won a lot.
Best Play, and it won Best Direction.
Yeah.
Um, like, I'm surprised that I hadn't heard anything about it.
If anything, because I'm, trying to be, like I said, a better theater kid and all that kinda stuff, and going and seeing Doubt last time, I actually
Mm.
surprisingly really, really enjoyed it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
need to do a little bit better of, like, seeing straight plays,
Mhm.
especially if I'm like, I mean, I do okay when I'm, just seeing regional theater stuff, like
Mhm.
last week seeing, like Holmes and Watson's was not a musical.
Yeah.
It was still, like, super good, like, I do enjoy straight plays, it's just when I go to
Mhm.
Broadway, I think about, Wicked and
Musicals.
Book of
Yeah,
Mormon and all that kinda
yeah.
stuff, so it's like, I need to
I've
do better.
seen now 2 straight plays on Broadway. So I saw, Piano Lesson. I actually saw, oh my god, Sam Jackson was in Piano Lesson when I just saw it,
Oh, that's right!
yeah, last year.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then I saw The Shark Is Broken last year also,
Yeah.
which
Yeah, I
had,
heard.
uh, Alex, and yeah, it was
Mhm.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Oh, I did see on off Broadway, sorry, I have to look at my playbills, where is it? There you are. I saw Dracula,
Oh
A
god, I
Comedy of
really
Terrors.
wanted to
Oh
see
my
that.
gosh.
I
That
really wanted to see that.
Oh my gosh, that just popped back up on my Instagram, and I was like, "That was such a good show." That was such, like, a last minute like, I just needed something, and it kept popping up, and I was like, "Okay, fine, let's go see what this is about," and literally bought, like, a front row ticket for, like, 40 bucks.
Oh my
So,
god, I'm
that
so
was
jealous.
that was a very, very funny show. I don't remember the guy's name who played Dracula, but he was,
Mm.
like, fantastic. So
So jealous. Oh, I wanna see that so
yeah.
bad.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, so I could see that coming back at some point. I don't know if it would be on Broadway quite yet, but where it
Mm.
was oh my gosh, so good. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is your shirt a Beetlejuice shirt?
Of course it is.
Oh my gosh, I could just see the recently deceased.
Handbook for the recently deceased, yeah.
Very nice. Oh, yeah, show us them
Yeah.
titties.
Mm.
Get it, girl. Oh,
You gotta
man.
watch the video if you wanna see that.
I know, right? There you go. Look on YouTube, everybody, that's where the real action's at.
That's where the action is.
Oh
Yep.
my, yeah. Well, I feel like if anything, this podcast and researching all this stuff, it just makes me wanna go back to Broadway and see more shows with you, so
Yep. That sounds great. Let's do it. Let's go.
yeah, we gotta go do that
Hurry up.
soon, so but yeah.
Well, we didn't figure out who's going first this week.
I think it's me because I have a
Okay.
very nice I know what you're talking about, and you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about,
Mhm.
and I have a very nice segue into yours.
Oh, okay, then
So,
yes. Okay, then let's do
I
yours
know
first.
I went first last week as well, but eh.
But,
we make the rules. We can do whatever we
Yeah.
want. So
it's my body. I do what I want.
hell yeah. Amen, sister.
Mhm.
Ooh, I got a cat below me. This week we've got a little bit of something a little bit different-ish than what
Ooh.
we've been doing since it's episode 5, and it feels fun doing a little bit something different for episodes 5. So I think for the first time, we're doing superstitions.
Woogly boogly.
Boogly boogly. We got no sad stuff. Fingers crossed,
Well,
maybe-ish. So, yeah.
a little bit, but not.
Yeah.
It's not
No.
nearly as bad as some of the stuff we've covered before.
Yeah, no horrible tragedies where that's the only
No.
thing that we're talking about, and, I mean, still ghosts and everything, but mostly it's gonna be the superstitions.
Yeah.
So for my segment, we thought it was a good idea to actually talk about the ghost light.
Bing bong.
The whole thing that our podcast is named after and the
Yeah.
significance of it.
Hooray.
So, the ghost light is a very recognizable icon in theater. So, even in like layman's term, it's fairly recognizable. So, the ghost light is typically an exposed incandescent bulb or LED lamp mounted in a wire cage on a portable light stand. So, typically, that's changing a little bit nowadays because, but theaters also love their traditions. So, as much as you
Mhm.
don't have to do that, a lot of them still do.
Yep.
So, typically, this light is placed on the apron or the edge of the stage before the end of the night. So, this light is first and foremost used for practicality and safety.
Tell me why.
So, I know, right? I wonder why. So, theaters and stages are full of lots of uneven surfaces. So, most theaters have orchestra pits or trapdoors and plenty of scenery to run into. And
Mhm.
so, whether it's at the end of the night or at the beginning of the day, you need to be able to get to the main light switch or the light board without hurting yourself.
Ideally, yeah.
Ideally. And so they figured it was a good idea to at least have one single burning light, which again, in more modern days, a lot of these theaters now have kind of more. Can you hear that?
It's so faint that you can't even tell.
Sorry, you have to see this.
Gunter! Oh my god, what a maniac!
I'm gonna go let him out real quick.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm sorry, I had to show you that.
That's amazing.
I'm just gonna start back from where I was. So a lot of theaters and stage obviously have uneven surfaces. So most theaters will have an orchestra pit, trap doors, and plenty of scenery to run into. And so
Mhm.
essentially you need some kind of light to be able to get to the light switch either at the beginning or the end of the day so that you don't hurt yourself, whoever is the last person in and out of the building.
One would hope, yeah.
One would hope. So
Mhm.
it arose from a very practical use. And like I said, a lot of modern theaters nowadays are kind of using, you can just use a normal light or something up in the grid, but theaters also love their traditions. So we also are still kind of sticking to this very traditional ghost light-esque look.
Mhm.
Um so in the A to Z of American Theater Modernism by James Fisher, he relates a popular
James
legend.
Fisher?
Huh?
Jim? Yes, Jim is my old head of my department at UNCG. Hi, Jim.
Oh, hi.
That's
Hi, I'm
Jim,
talking
yes.
about you, buddy. I'm talking about 2 of your books. So,
Hi,
it's funny, yeah. So he relates a popular legend that a burglar once snuck into a Broadway theater, fell from a darkened stage, broke his leg, and then sued the theater. So that
Jim.
is the most popular lore of what started the ghost light, which is ironic considering that this person was breaking and entering and somehow still ended up winning the lawsuit and everything. So
Whoops.
yeah, and then another legend tells about an NYC firefighters pulling up and essentially falling into the orchestra pit
Oh,
during
shit.
a false alarm when they were called to the theater. And so therefore, fire codes require that at least one light be on in the theater
Yeah,
when it's vacant.
that makes
So
sense.
mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then one other theory of where it came from is, again, from James Fisher, Historical Dictionary of American Theater
Mm.
Beginnings says that it came from the days of gaslit theaters and refers to the dimly lit gaslights used to relieve pressure on the gas valves. So, so it kind of came from like a practical use, whether it was
Mhm.
gas lights or just general safety, which is why we probably still use it today. Again,
Mhm.
aside from tradition and
I mean,
superstition,
in
it
some
just
cases,
makes
I will
sense.
say it doesn't always help even if you do have light on the stage.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do
I
you
don't
have a
know if you were
story?
Yes! I
Tell
don't know
me.
if you were around for this one, 'cause I'm pretty sure it was during Wild Party. Are
Is
you
this
big
at
for
is
Wild
it
Party?
University in Memphis?
Yeah, Memphis.
No, no, I don't know that one.
Oh god. So we had this dude that was, I don't know, maybe 50s to 60s. I'm not really sure what his age was, but he was
Mhm,
like a helper in our shop and would come, and he knew how to do some carpentry, and he would
mhm.
help us build sets, and he would weld, and like he was just kind of always just around and like helping do things.
Yeah.
And I think he may have taken like some like non-credit classes or something like that with us.
Mhm.
But all I know is that I was in the shop
Oh,
and I
no.
hear all this commotion on stage, and I run out. It's because this poor dude was sweeping and didn't realize that he was sweeping backwards, and he fell backwards into the pit that was dropped like 15 feet.
Oh, no, is he okay?
He was fortunate, like, I don't fucking know how, but he was
Mhm.
completely fine. He was a
Oh,
little
good.
shocked, of course, but, like,
Oh,
I
man.
and we
How
had, like, barriers up and stuff, so I'm really not sure how it just, like, didn't phase him, he didn't catch it, it just, like but the
it just
stage was
happened.
very well lit, so
Oh,
that was
no.
not the case.
So sometimes, yeah, theaters can just be very disastrous places in
Yeah.
general. O is the water show in
Woo!
Las Vegas. So where a normal solid stage would be, we have a giant pool.
It's so cool.
And
Yikes.
we've had people who full on like fall in the pool and all kinds of stuff with or without lights. But one nice little
Oh,
fun tradition is that if you fall in the pool at O, you get a rubber ducky.
how many do you have?
I don't have any because I've only
Oh,
ever sunken up to my thigh.
that should count for something.
I know, right? I've fallen in when I've been holding on to something and I'll sidestep into the pool, and so my entire leg will go in, but I've never fully gone in. So, and then another very nice fun tradition is, when you leave Cirque permanently, you get thrown in the pool on your last shift.
Oh! Oh, shit.
Mhm, yeah. So, it's kinda cute.
That is fun.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, so falling off the stage, it can happen whether there's light or not.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Another thing, I actually didn't know this, but according to, some sources, the ghost light has also been known as the equity light. Did you know
Mhm.
about this?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know about this, but I guess, they have been saying that in the earliest mandates of Actors Equity Union, with IATSE and everything, they essentially would put a ghost light on stage so that if there was a rehearsal going on and they had a pianist, they didn't have to pay anybody
That's right, you
to
didn't have to
come
pay
in and
someone to
turn
turn the
on the
light on.
lights. Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
I know. That's one where I've seen everywhere and I'm like, "This feels s sketchy," but they're like,
Yes.
"There's no actual, like there's no evidence against this." And I'm like, "Who's writing this? Is it the Actors Equity Union
Yeah.
who's like, 'Don't look at us, we're not doing this.'" So, alright, so those are the, like, more practical, reasons for the ghost light. Safety concerns, practical concerns, it makes sense,
Mhm.
but however, in the end, it is called a ghost light. And as the saying goes, that I have a feeling that we're going to repeat quite a bit, every theater has a ghost.
Woo.
So I remember my very first experience with a ghost light actually was at Utah Shakespeare Festival, which is where I did my first summer stock. And for
Woo.
people who don't know what summer stock is, that's basically for theater. We run in seasons. So there's fall season, spring season, and summer season. And usually you can kind of run off to a different theater and have some fun and all that kind of stuff. So Utah Shakes was my very first summer stock that I went to, and the theater that we painted in had a ghost light. And also, this is gonna be another time, but, there's a lot of ghost stories actually at Utah Shakespeare Festival.
Ooh, cool.
So, yeah, but I'm gonna do that another time, so I won't go into it. But I still remember just being like, "Oh, what's that? What's that?" And everybody having to tell me because I didn't learn any of this stuff in college.
Aha.
Fun fact, college doesn't cover superstitions, which we'll get into when you tell your story too.
Yep.
Um, so there's a couple of theories with the ghost light as how it pertains to superstitions and ghosties and paranormals and all that stuff. So some people believe that the ghost light will keep ghosts away. So illuminating the space makes it to where they can't hide in the shadows, all that kind of fun stuff. The other thought is that the ghost light keeps ghosts company. So when people aren't in the building, they are they feel like there's still people around and they aren't alone, and so it keeps them company. And then the other one is it keeps ghosts safe. So I thought this one was kind of cute, but it's like scenery changes and it basically makes it to where the ghost can like see what's going on.
Oh.
I know, which part of me is like, they're ghosts, can't they just, like, walk through
Walk
it?
through
But,
it.
like but yeah, it keeps them safe, and so they can see what's going on, they can see the changes that are happening and all that kinda stuff. And then probably a most common one is, it allows them to perform because most ghosts in theaters are gonna be past performers and, artists and all that kinda stuff. So having the stage illuminated allows them to continue to perform and show off their talents.
That's so
So,
cute. I love that.
yeah, I thought that one was really cute. And
Mhm.
then at some point, maybe we'll get into this, all the ghost lore that doesn't have to do with theater, but it's just paranormal in general. But some people also believe that having the ghost light on also charges the ghost because
Oh.
it gives them energy to basically feed off
Mm.
of. So by keeping the ghost light on, it makes it to where they can basically stay awake at night. So,
Huh.
and keep
That's
going and all that kind of stuff.
interesting theory
So,
too. Hmm.
yeah, that's what I mean. Maybe we'll get into that one day because that's something I can't just, like, speak randomly about, but yeah,
Yeah.
something about charging them, giving them energy, all that kinda stuff.
That's
So,
cute. I like that.
yeah, I kind of like that. So yeah, so that's the basic, like I said, safety and then
Mhm.
ghosty. And then I'm gonna give a couple examples of what the ghost light means to us as theater people because like I said, the ghost light is a very, very iconic look for
Mhm.
theater. It's probably second to what the comedy and tragedy mask
Yeah.
is the ghost light. Most people know what it is. So I don't want to speak too long about this because it's wildly depressing,
Oh.
but the ghost light became a very iconic symbol for theater people in COVID-19 during the 2020 shutdown. The entertainment business was kind of hit the hardest during the pandemic, and no one seemed to care. So, because
Mhm.
we're just entertainers, this is all we do.
Mhm.
But honestly, it was one of those industries where it shut down and nobody had a job. And so, because it shut down, you can't find another job. And so, a lot of entertainers were just completely out of it. For Dan Mischie, the musical director and conductor for Wicked, he said, quote, "This is something you've worked and trained for your entire life, and to have that ripped away and to have no sight of when it's coming back, it's not like you can go and call up another theater and another orchestra. It stopped." So
Mhm.
to give people a little bit of an idea, Broadway during the pandemic was closed from March of 2020 to September of 2021. It's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Cirque, which is where I was, this is I was working at Cirque during this. Cirque was closed from March of 2020 to July of 2021. So that is
Mhm.
over a year of being fully unemployed with nowhere to go except for
Mhm.
real estate, apparently. That's what I saw everybody doing. Everybody became real estate agents. So
Yeah.
anyway, so during the pandemic, the ghost light essentially became a symbol of hope.
Mhm.
So, and although many theaters had completely locked their doors, a lot of them still kept a ghost light on. At that point, it wasn't for safety. You didn't need it
Mhm.
because doors were locked, bolts were bolted, all that kind of stuff. And the Sydney Opera House actually was one such place, and they have a quote that says, "It's about saying, we haven't gone forever. We're coming back, and we're going to leave the lights on to show you that."
Ugh,
That makes
hell
me almost
yeah.
wanna cry. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Like, that was a very it was a very trying time for a lot of us.
Yes. Mhm.
So again, just a very iconic symbol. So
Mhm.
another, great example, again, where the ghost light is a symbol for theater is something called the Ghostlight Project. So, yes, Danica is the one who actually told
Yes.
me about this and made me aware of it. So, January 19th of 2017 was the eve of the presidential inauguration. So, I know, which was for the what was it, the
45.
45th president, Donald Trump. So, people essentially came together to create light for challenging times ahead and create a brave space for the potential 4 rocky years that people in our industry would experience during this presidency.
Mhm.
The places that agreed to participate in the Ghostlight Project would pledge to be a space of diversity and inclusion. So, again, the Ghostlight just becomes a symbol for, you know, all of us. So,
Yeah.
all the people in theater. So,
Mhm. It's about safe
yeah.
harbor. It's about,
Mhm,
making sure that there's visibility and inclusion and
mhm.
making sure that we know that the space that we have that we share with each other is it's our home away from home
Yeah,
for so many of us.
it's a safe place, and yeah. Our university actually participated in it, didn't they?
Yep, from,
Mhm.
Mr. Anthony Palecchia, lighting and sound designer extraordinaire, um, who we love. Hi, AP, you're wonderful. Yeah, he's the one that brought this to our attention and made sure that we could participate in this, so thank you.
Yeah, 'cause this was 2017. Were you no, yeah, you were still in school in 2017.
Yeah, yeah, I was,
Yeah, you were in grad
that
school.
would have been my 2nd year of grad school.
Okay, yeah. I had already graduated and was
Mhm,
in, I think, Phoenix at the time, but yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's another example of, how the ghost light is a lovely symbol for all of us.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna take a nice little fun sidestep and talk
Ooh.
about, like, some of the media that's around it.
Oh.
So there are plenty of plays and books out
Mhm.
about the ghost light with all different kinds of things, whether it's just about theater, people putting on theater, or I thought this one sounded fun and I wanna see this, the play called Ghostlight by David Alford,
Hmm.
and it is a one-act thriller about 2 actors waiting for the arrival of their director while rehearsing in a very haunted theater.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, "Yes, please. I wanna watch that."
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
and then actually, ironically, there is a movie that came out this week called Ghostlight in 2024, and it made me almost cry watching the trailer. It's
Oh, the
definitely more lighthearted.
trailers. Oh,
Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
it's not about ghosts, but it's about a construction worker who unexpectedly joins a production of Romeo and Juliet, and the drama essentially starts to mirror his own life. So
Yeah, it looks phenomenal.
yeah, it looks very cute. For anybody who's
Mm,
seen the movie, Shall We Dance, it seems kinda similar to that, where it's
mm.
basically like, "Oh, like, this guy's just in his normal, like, everyday routine, and then just so kind of, like, happens to stumble into a theater, and it's
Yeah.
like, 'What's this about?'" Kind of a thing, and then, like, hides being in a production from his family. It's very cute.
Yeah.
It just seemed very cute. I'm gonna go see it, so
Yeah, no, it sounds good.
another movie is from 2018 that me and you absolutely have to watch, and it
Mm.
is called Ghost Light, so 2 separate words, and it stars Carrie Elwes
Princess Bride!
from Princess Bride. The,
I've interviewed him, he's real
Mhm.
nice.
Is he? As You Wish.
As you wish.
How
Yeah,
was his
he's
interview?
lovely.
Was it good?
It was good, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Mhm.
And then alongside Carol Kane.
Oh.
Yep, which she's most recently famous from The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. So
she's incredible. I love her so
no,
much.
she's amazing.
She's hysterical.
Yeah, but this movie of Ghostlight, unlike the other one I just mentioned, is a much more traditional look of all kinds of theater superstitions and ghost lights and all kinds of stuff. And it is about the the description is so good. It is about a disgruntled summer stock performer who disregards the Macbeth superstitions. Which, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolutely beautiful chef's kiss segue into the next session that Danica's going to talk about.
Guess what we're talking about? So, everybody, welcome to yet another wonderful and very, very highly respected in many ways superstition of the play Macbeth.
Do you see why I wanted you to go first? Or why I wanted to go first? Because I was like, I've got the perfect segue.
Excellent. That's excellent, yes. So the reason that I feel like I can say it in its entirety right now, because I'm not in a theater, so I can say it. So there you go.
Me neither. Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth.
Okay, well, let's not touch it. So for that reason, so we'll get into like the history of it and everything, but sometimes it is referred to as the Scottish play or the Bard's play, Macbee. I prefer Mackers because I think it's cute.
Mm-hmm.
Takes away some of the power. I just think it's adorable calling it Mackers.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I love that people don't know what the hell I'm talking about when I'm like, oh yeah, Mackers. I went and saw Mackers over at such and such. So let's dive into a little bit of the history of the story itself. Mm-hmm. So the story of the Scottish King. This was thought to have been first performed in 1606. It does follow the rise of a Scottish general to the rank of king by way of murder and tyranny, spurred on by his lovely wife. For those who have no idea what this play is about, I don't know how you've missed it all these years.
She's iconic, yeah. It's just Lady Macbeth.
Women don't need first names, okay?
No, of course not. Her first name is Lady. What more do you need?
So the main source for this story is the account of Macbeth, who in reality was a Scottish king who ruled from 1040 to 1057. And a good deal of information is taken from the Hollinshead Chronicles, which is a collaborative historical comprehensive description of British history, which was published in 3 volumes. So England, Scotland, and Ireland. Mm-hmm. But, you know, like much of Shakespeare's works, this is another really good example of historical inaccuracy and embellishment, which I think we can all agree makes for a hell of a good story, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But there's also a really strong case to be made for the fact that a lot of the plot seems to be influenced by the gunpowder plot of 1605. So, first bit of trivia. Do you remember the movie V for Vendetta with Natalie Portman? And yeah.
So I had never seen V for Vendetta. And the first time that I watched it, not on purpose, was on the 5th of November.
Oh,
and so wild. Now it is a tradition of mine to either watch it on the 4th or the 5th, whichever one I decide.
That's wild.
Yeah, I did that. I think I watched it for the first time, like, let's just say like 7 years ago, something like that. So yeah, it was just like one of those
wild.
Like, are you gonna ask me what the quote is?
Yes.
Remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot.
Yeah.
I know not why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot.
Yay! Good job. Word for word. Verbatim. Delightful. Good job.
I finally got one.
So, AKA Guy Fawkes Day, which is still sort of celebrated. So the story was likely written immediately thereafter, because considering it was first performed the following year. So let's now get into the Curse of Macbeth. So where does it originate and why do so many people believe it? So let's start with what was a raucous good time in the 16th and 17th centuries around the world, a good old-fashioned witch hunt.
We love a witch hunt.
We love a witch hunt. So King James VI of Scotland, who is also aka King James I, because after the union of the Scottish and English crowns, he was King James I there and King James VI of Scotland. So there you go. He is said to have been obsessed with witchcraft, inspired partly. I can't honestly find information as to why this would have led him there, but partly by the execution of his mother, Mary, Queen of Scots, in 1587. But the more likely source of his disdain comes from when he and his wife were nearly killed during a storm while on board a ship from Denmark to Scotland, where he basically went and picked her up.
Oof.
And he blamed evil spells of witches for conjuring the storm, going so far as to order a witch hunt in the town of North Berwick. And later on, he actually wrote the book Demonology, which is a treatise on witchcraft, i.e. a witch hunting manual, to further inspire persecution against witches, which I think we can safely say was successful.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I didn't know any of this, that there was this much going on, but my gosh. Yeah. I mean, the witch trials, overseas in the United States, everywhere, like those are hella famous. So am I right to say
if you
fuck
thought
this guy?
if you thought the Salem witch trials were bad, England way worse.
I was gonna say, considering that, witch trials were congratulations, guys. It's nice to be you. It's mostly women, so
yeah, isn't that cool?
Yippee-ki-yay.
Ew, they think about things and talk.
I know, right?
Gross.
Oh my gosh, a woman has thought. She's a witch.
Kill them all.
A woman has a black cat. She's a witch.
So actually, that book that King James wrote, Demonology, this book is believed to be one of Shakespeare's main sources to produce the rituals and quotes that are found in the text. So that leads us to the curse. Let's start with the fact that there are, of course, the three witches that can be seen in Macker's, the weird sisters, if you will, which I love. This is just a weird little... Yes, that was my other trivia.
Sorry.
What is it?
Okay, never mind. I'll wait.
What is it?
Huh?
What is it?
I think the only part that I know is the oil, boil, woil, and trouble. So that's all.
You were so close. Okay.
No, yeah, no, I should have kept what I had said the first time. Now I'm thinking about it too much, and I'm going like hocus pocus and all that kind of stuff.
So they speak in tetrameter as opposed to... What is it? Iambic
parameter. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Keep going. Pentameter. I don't know. I don't know.
You know this. Anyway. So tetrameter is basically just 4 beats per line instead of the 5. So your quote unquote standard, which he uses it differently in all different ways. And I could do a lecture for 3 hours about this in itself, but instead of ba-bum, 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 like a heartbeat. Instead of that, their tetrameter is double, toil and trouble, fire, burn, and cauldron bubble.
Double. Fuck me. Where did my quote come from? I don't even know. So I had it in a minute, but whatever.
So it seems that Shakespeare didn't just reference James's demonology. He is theorized to have actually pulled some real spells directly from his text. So things like Fenny Snake, Eye of Newt, and Toe of Frog. Those are specifically referenced in demonology as ingredients to be used in some sort of spells.
Oh, that's awesome. I wish we knew what spell. That would be so fun.
Isn't that fun? This, some say, was objected to by a real coven of witches who then put a curse on the play for using real incantations in the text. But others say that it's because he used incomplete incantations, and that was their cause for cursing it.
Why is this making me so excited? I didn't know any of this.
It's really fun. It's really fun.
I'm sure you're going to get into it. I always thought that it was just something like, oh, somebody got injured on the first night. Wham! Like kind of a thing. But like that, I love that.
And who knows? This is all conjecture and
witch stuff is fun though.
But it's fun. It's still fun to conjecture about.
Yeah, no, witch stuff is all fun.
So now let's get into the instances that have been freaking people out about this place since its inception. So please note, some of these are really hard to track down sources for, but I'll put where I originally found some of these in my notes.
Yeah, you're
So
fine.
if you want to harumph about that, go bitch to the people that wrote my sources.
That's fine. Everything comes from somewhere. It's fine.
So even the first production didn't go perfectly. The actor originally playing Lady M died suddenly, and it is said that Shakespeare himself had to step into the role.
Well, I think I have heard that. I think that's what I thought. I didn't had anything to do with
Okay,
curses
and
and
we'll
everything.
get to that.
Oh.
We'll circle back around to that actually in a second. But
Okay.
the Astor Place riot of May 10th, 1849 was caused by a rivalry between English actor William Charles Macready and American actor Edwin Forrest, who were both set to play the titular role in opposing productions. Is this maybe one reason why we try not to do the same show at the same time in the same city? Maybe. Probably a good idea. But yes, just so we're aware, I have added this to the list of our theater tragedies to cover because this one is a doozy too.
Okay.
That one about the Astor Place riot.
Yeah.
Woof. So
Okay.
yeah, we'll have to cover
add
that
it
in
to
the
the
future,
list.
but it is wild. But it just so happens that they were both
Doing Macbeth.
They were both doing Macbeth at the same city at the same time.
Hey, well now whenever I'm assuming it would be you who covers it, people will understand what the tragedy or not the tragedy, but the lore of Macbeth is in
There
general.
we go.
So
Look, I'm just setting you
perfect.
up. I'm just setting you
Oh
up. It's
my
great.
gosh.
So then
Mhm.
our next one is theater manager Lillian Bayliss died on the night of the dress rehearsal for the Old Vic's 1937 production starring Laurence Olivier. A falling stage weight just missed landing on Olivier. And then the director and the actress playing Lady Macbeth were involved in a car crash. They survived, but it was all in the same show. The play's
Still.
opening was postponed, and on its first night, Bayliss's portrait, the theater manager, fell off the theater wall.
Oh.
They used real weapons, which red flag, and one flew into the audience, giving someone in the audience a heart attack.
Oh my gosh, I've got a story. Have you ever done a theater production with real weapons?
Yeah.
Yeah?
They get dulled, but yes.
Have you ever done a theater production where they used real weapons and they didn't dull them properly?
No, because I fortunately work with not idiots.
All right, I would like to tell a story really quick. In another Shakespearean show, which I don't know, maybe I'll say it, maybe I won't. Let's just say it was the third of somebody, whose name started with R. Anyway,
You didn't even have to say that, I already guessed it.
um, so we were doing a production or a production of it, and for some reason we used all real weapons.
Mhm.
Like we had like spears and stuff like that, where we literally bought. This is when I was an intern, so
Hmm.
well that just gave it away. Whatever. Where I was an intern and I didn't have any say in the matter. But anyway, we bought legit real weapons like machetes and stuff like this and dulled them.
Mhm.
And bless their hearts, I don't remember which production it was, but essentially there's a part where they're like fighting with these spears and doing all this kind of stuff and everything. And the two people who were battling, one guy like just stepped a little bit too wrong. And the person he was fighting with literally stabbed him in the leg.
Oh.
Like, in one side and out the other.
Oh my god.
And again,
Oh.
so much praise for this actor. Literally didn't even do anything. Like, just like, I mean, he was like, it was my fault. I stepped out of the choreography incorrectly, kind of a thing. But literally just like walked off stage and was like, hey guys, I've been stabbed.
Oh my god. What?
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. That's one of those moments that goes down in my brain as a props master now that like I'm not a dumb intern anymore where I'm just like, nope, 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 no. So
Don't worry, that'll come back up in a second. In 1942, 3 actors died during the run of the Piccadilly Theater's version, which starred John Gielgud. The costume designer is outside of that committed suicide. I would hope not having to do with the play, but whatever.
Oh, poor person.
And then this is where this comes back to what you were just talking about.
Yay.
1947 London. Harold Norman, who was an actor with the Repertory Theatre of Oldham, was wounded in the onstage battle between Macduff and Macbeth.
Mhm.
He underwent 2 major operations but did not survive.
Whoa, someone died?
Yes.
Whoa.
1947, because they used real blades. Another similar incident, supposedly in Amsterdam in 1672, so going way backwards, the actor playing King Duncan was killed when the prop knife was, quote unquote, accidentally replaced with a real dagger. And to me, I put in parentheses, it's giving Brandon and Bruce Lee.
Oh my gosh. At some point, I would like to do an episode where all I do is just talk about all the mishaps when it comes to prop weapons and all that kind of stuff, because there are a lot of them, and there don't need to be any of them.
Correct. That's correct.
So,
that's correct.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
We're not done yet.
Oh my god. I mean, yeah, well, we're in 16 whatever you said it was. So,
let's see. In 1948, British actress Diana Wynyard, maybe, told a reporter that she thought the curse was ridiculous. The following night, whilst performing as Lady Macbeth, during the sleepwalking scene, this is 100% on her. This is her fault. She did the scene with her eyes closed and walked right off the stage and fell into the orchestra pit 15 feet below. She was unharmed, but come on, lady.
Are we sure? So, for one, if there had been a ghost light, she may have been fine.
Bringing it back around.
And second off, are we sure that a ghost didn't push her off?
I mean, fair. Just being like, I'll show you a curse.
I know, right? Girl, you don't believe us? We're about to show you. Close your damn eyes.
Oh boy. Okay, and then where is the one? This is not great. In 1988, Bulgarian singer, coach, and translator Bancho Banchevsky committed suicide while attending a nationally broadcast matinee of Giuseppe Verdi's opera Macbeth. He propelled himself backwards from a balcony railing at New York's Metropolitan Opera House, Lincoln Square.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. I'm so
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yikes. Nationally broadcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Horrifying.
Yeah.
So it is noted by Dr. Anjana Chauhan of the Shakespeare Birthplace Trust that even that first story about the original production is just a myth. And he said it's because, quote, it was a parody of the way scholars take evidence from the period and everyone believed it.
All right.
So, I mean, we as theater practitioners know that a lot can and does go wrong during the run of a play, in rehearsals, in performances. And we've come to call them theater fails, which I used to do those in my last podcast. And I was like, I really want to bring those back and have people tell us about their theater fails, because it's so many good things out there. Just innumerable, wonderful, hysterical theater fails.
We should do, if we ever have a Patreon.
We should absolutely do theater fails, because they're so much fun. But because this play deals with witchcraft and the occult, it does make that myth much more compelling. One hypothesis for the origin of the superstition is that Macbeth, being a popular play, was commonly put on by theaters in financial trouble, or that the high production costs of Macbeth put theaters in financial trouble, and hence the association was made between a production of Macbeth and theaters going out of business. So yeah.
Okay.
So it's one of those things there. If you go, our theater's in trouble, what do we do? Quick, let's do a show of Mackers because we know it's going to make money.
Yeah,
everybody goes, that theater's about to fail. And they do.
Okay.
and then they go, "Uh-oh, we spent too much on Mackers," and then they go out of business. So, yeah, it's
Kind of like
that's
a
another reason
catch-22
it's
then.
associated.
Yeah,
So,
it's like catch-22 where
yeah,
it's like it has become the like, "Oh, this is what we're gonna do," like you said, right before we're about to fail. So it's not necessarily like
feel big.
Macbeth's fault.
Mhm.
Or is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, right. So, how do you avoid the curse? Some will say that if you're actively producing or you're in the show, that it's okay to say it. Some actors, including Sir Patrick Stewart, will say that as long as you're playing the titular character, you're okay.
As long as you're
Um,
playing what character?
the titular character, the title character,
Okay.
Macbeth. So you can of course avoid it by saying the Scottish play, the
Mhm,
Bard's play, McBee,
mhm.
Mackers. In
Mackers.
sign language, they also they don't refer to it as Macbeth. They actually call it the Scottish play, or they call it Scotland play.
Oh!
So,
Oh,
and I
that's so
learned how to say it.
fun!
So Scotland, you do holding like you're holding a flag in your hand,
Mhm,
and then you tuck your elbow in a couple times.
mhm.
And then for play, you do your fists in front of you with your thumbs facing at you, and you run them at you a few times. And that's
Nice.
to act, or that's also theater and playing, acting.
That's so cool. I like the fact that even in sign language, they were like, "We're not playing with this."
No, yeah, no. It's basically across the board languages. They counter with
Yeah.
not using the actual title.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
man.
what if you accidentally or even purposely
Oh,
say it
yeah.
inside a theater? What do you do? So the rule of
You
thumb
are a
is
jerk and you're fired. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, some people take it really seriously.
Oh, okay, really quick. This is the perfect time for me to interject
Ooh,
my story.
ooh.
So, um, when I was in college, in undergrad at University of Memphis, we did Macbeth. I was mostly a art major and everything, and then kind of transferred to theater. I was painting and building props and all that kind of stuff for Macbeth. And so that was one of like when I graduated college, I didn't have a ton of stuff in my portfolio. And
Mhm.
so, like, that was, like, the main one where, like, I painted marble and, like, just did all this stuff. It was
On
gorgeous.
all the rust and stuff, it was so
All the rust.
gorgeous.
It was
Oh,
rusted marble. It was gorgeous. I still use some of the same techniques that I did on that,
so
where it was
good.
just basically dousing the stage in water
Mm.
and throwing paint everywhere. Oh,
Oh,
so much fun.
yeah.
Anyway, so when I that lovely summer when neither of us went off to summer stock, I applied to a theater for summer stock. And during my interview, they asked me, about random stuff throughout your portfolio. And then at some point, they said, "Oh, can you tell us about the Scottish play?" And me being a theater kid that didn't know theater yet, I was like, "What? What are you,
Oh.
And they were like, the Scottish play. Can you tell me about your time working on the Scottish play?" And I was just like, "Huh?" Like, had no idea
Oh,
what they were talking about
man.
because, like I said, like, in college, I literally had maybe a year of theater experience under my
Yeah,
belt, and literally that place, they were like, "Oh, okay, well, it was really great talking to you," and I never heard from them again.
that's so fucking dumb of them.
And so
Hi, we're incredibly elitist.
I wish I
Like,
was joking, but, like, I can still hear the interviewer literally saying, like, "Tell us about the Scottish play." And I was like, 'cause also our production of it was not like, I hadn't really read a lot of plays either, so, like, we didn't act it as Scottish. I wish I remembered when, like, the connection happened of, like, "Oh, that's what they were talking about." I don't remember when that happened. It probably was honestly hanging out with you or something because that was you know what? Let's look at this as a blessing in disguise.
there you
If
go.
I had gotten a job at Playhouse on the Square,
Hmm.
me and you might not be friends.
Oh.
Is Macbeth a curse or a blessing?
I
That was not planned, that just kinda
like
happily
that. I
happened.
like that.
So,
I like that.
anyway.
That's
Mhm.
great.
But yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes. So what do you do if you say it?
Oh, yeah.
So the main rule of thumb is you are supposed to exit the theater, spin around 3 times, spit, and you can either curse or say a line from another Shakespeare play and then knock to be granted access back into the theater. And one of the more popular lines to
I didn't know
use
that.
is, if we spirits have offended, think but this and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here while these visions did appear, which is from
Tempest.
Nope.
Oh, I don't know.
Midsummer.
That's embarrassing. Because I really like Midsummer.
It's Puck's final monologue.
Actually,
it's the epilogue.
Oh, okay. Midsummer is actually the most recent Shakespeare play that I saw because Utah Shakespeare Festival did it last summer. So
Oh.
all the more reason to be embarrassed. No, that was good. That was a really good trivia question. I like stuff like that.
Yay.
So, my toes. But anyway.
So that's pretty much it. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
I usually avoid saying it. I avoid saying theater because there are so many theater people that are very superstitious about it.
Yeah, I think out of all of the superstitions, that one is by far the most universal. Like we're gonna
other one that my colleague is absolutely like, if she hears this happen, she will she's about to kick some ass.
Can I guess what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say whistles, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I was thinking that for episode 10, just because, numbers and everything, that's when we should do our superstition one.
Yeah. I like it.
'Cause I'm not gonna lie, ever since then, like, Circus of Theater, but, like, I've been whistling, like, nonstop in the theater now since we've been talking about this. But yeah, whistling is one. But yeah, we should do we're gonna do a superstition.
Oh my god.
Like, covering all of those kinds of things. But yeah, maybe we should do that for episode 10.
Let's do it.
The sidestep story that I wanted to tell is that I love it and it pisses me off that in Hamilton, for all of you people who know, they do a lot of nice little, like, Easter eggs for us theater people. Like, if you know it, it's really nice, like, the whole, like, I am the modern major of a major general or whatever, like
exactly what you're gonna say, and I love
Yeah,
this.
so that's from Pirates of Penzance. So they have this really beautiful moment in Take a Break when Hamilton is writing a letter to Angelica where he says, "My dearest Angelica, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day," which is a quote from Macbeth. And then he says, "I trust you'll understand the reference to another Scottish tragedy without me having to name the play."
Yep.
And that's one of those where all of us are like, "Yeah, I love it." Like, "Oh my gosh." And then literally next line, he says, "They think me Macbeth. Ambition is my folly. I'm a polymath pain in the ass. Massive pain."
But like you avoided saying it.
Yeah, you literally made the joke to not have to say it, and then you said it.
Yeah, I will never understand that.
Like, maybe the only thing that I can think of based on what you just said is that he's making the joke of, like, I'm not gonna say the name of the play, however, because I'm Macbeth and I'm the main character, I can say it. But, like, it just feels
I mean
Lin-Manuel Miranda. Why?
We have questions.
We have questions. And we need answers. So
Call me.
Also, call me. But for real though, that's I always think about that. I'm like, that was so clever, and then just
undercut.
Fucked it up, man. I can't. I mean, I feel so stupid me saying that anything in Hamilton is messed up, but
like, you got a really good point.
Yeah, like, you know what? Like, even when I wasn't a big theater person, I heard that song, I was like, oh. Oh, man.
Yeah, I think you're not alone in that.
I hope so. But yeah, that was when you said you were doing Macbeth, I was like, I have a point to make. Oh, man. No, that was actually really, really good.
Yay, well, I hope everyone else is enjoying this as much as we are, because we're having a lot of fun, and thank you for being with us and joining us and sharing the laughter.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, this has been lots of fun. It's been lots of fun to figure out what we're doing and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, and if you have ideas of what you'd like us to cover,
yes.
please feel free to let us know. We're always open to ideas, and if you want to be part of our show, you can let us know that. If you have some ghosties at your theater that you want to talk about, we'd love to have you. So write in and let us know all about all your cool spooky ooky things.
Yeah. We want people on. So start telling us stories. So
Yay.
Yeah. I'm excited. So
Yay.
We
did it.
We done did it.
In the books.
Yep. And break.
Oh.
One more time. And break. Close enough. Until next time, don't forget to leave the ghost light on. Thank you for joining us. Leave the Ghost Light On was created, hosted, and edited by Danica Jackson and Jill Horn.
Musical composition created by Jay Nygaard.
Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, and more. Last one though, you only froze like twice.
Your cat is doing. He is trying to eat your sunglasses and whatever else is up there. Dude. Bad choice. Make a good choice. Make a good choice.
He's not.